180 years, 50,000 spectators fill the Roman Colosseum. Gladiators spill blood on the sand. Lions tear apart prisoners. Emperor Commodus prepares to enter the arena. This is the greatest spectacle in the ancient world. But let's change one detail. In the tunnels beneath the arena lies something no one has ever seen. A team of modern Navy SEALs found themselves in a battle they were unprepared for. So, what will happen when the most advanced special operations group on Earth is unleashed in one of the most brutal spectacles in history? Will they survive against wave after wave of gladiators, wild beasts, and the Imperial Guard? Or is this just one command against an entire empire? First, let's see what we dropped in the 1st century. The modern team of Navy SEALs consists of 4 operators trained perfectly in all forms of violence known to science. They can run 1.5 kilometers in 10 minutes, carrying 40 kilograms of gear, hitting a coin from 300 meters away, and coordinating attacks using encrypted radios. And remember, radio communication for the Romans in the 16th century was akin to telepathy, long before Benjamin Franklin launched his kite. Each sea lion is armed with an M4A1 rifle, a selective fire system that can shoot up to 955.56mm rounds per minute in automatic mode. One of the sea lions receives a fully automatic Mk-48 machine gun that holds 100 rounds of 7.62mm NATO caliber in a single magazine. Everyone also carries a 9mm pistol in case the situation gets too close, plus combat knives, 2 to 3 fragmentation grenades, and one of them is armed with a 40mm grenade launcher attached to a rifle. All of this is protected by modern ballistic vests with ceramic plates capable of stopping bullets traveling at 3 times the speed of sound. Even their helmets are made of Kevlar, strong enough to stop a bullet. They have night goggles, tactical gloves, protective glasses, and boots, as well as tourniquets, bandages, and enough morphine to survive a grenade explosion. Opposing them is the pride of the Roman arena, professional gladiators who have turned murder into an art. Mormillo fighters with massive shields and short swords. Retiari are dancing with nets and tridents. Triari with curved swords designed to bypass shields and strike vital organs. They are not just criminals forced to fight. Many are trained killers who have survived dozens of such battles. At dawn, the team of sea lions steps onto the sand. First, a warm-up fight, venatio, or beast hunting. 2 hungry African lions are released into the arena, eager to feast on the poorly armed men. The crowd is thrilled as the sea lions form a semicircle, rifles at the ready. The first lion charges into attack, and from 30 meters away, one of the sea lions pulls the trigger twice, bringing the lion down mid-air. The second lion hesitates. It has just witnessed the first shot that happened 900 years earlier. Another sea lion steps forward and shoots 3 times at the center of the mass, turning the king of beasts into a rug. The sea lions used only 5 bullets and stepped back, not breaking a sweat. The crowd froze in silence. The spectators wonder if the seals are gods. Others suspect it to be witchcraft. Commodus watches with irritation. Strangers have just devalued his favorite bloody spectacle. For midday entertainment, 10 condemned men are released into the arena. They are given swords, clubs, and a few shields, promised freedom if they kill the foreigners. This is a lie, but desperate people are ready to believe any nonsense. The prisoners spread out, trying to surround the seals, which form a dense circle with their backs to each other, each covering a 90-degree angle. This is called a defensive perimeter, and the arena is about to become a place for killings. The attackers approach, and from 20 meters away, the SEALs open semi-automatic fire, deliberately placing each bullet to conserve ammunition. The convict standing in front raises his sword to attack, but a bullet pierces his chest before he takes a step. 2 others charge forward and meet the same fate. Within 10 seconds, half of the attackers are destroyed, and the remaining ones freeze. One of the SEALs gestures at them with a rifle. He shouts in English, but the tone of his call is understood by all. Drop your weapons. 3 condemned men immediately drop their swords and retreat. The others, driven by despair, make one last charge. The SEAL team awaits this. They have already switched to automatic fire and stop the attack before it reaches halfway. In total, about 30 bullets were spent. The SEAL team suffered no losses. Professional gladiators enter the arena, true killers who have dedicated their lives to close combat. The first wave consists of a heavily armed Mormillo and a nimble Rarius working as a team. The Retiarius throws his net while his partner attacks. At a distance of 40 meters, Rarius, dressed only in a loincloth, is hit by 2 bullets in the chest and falls instantly. The large shield of the Mormillo actually deflects the first bullet, surprising everyone, including the SEAL that shot. Therefore, the seal switches to automatic fire and changes its target from the gladiator's legs to his head. The man falls into the sand 10 meters away. Immediately, 4 more gladiators and a shooter enter. Seals primarily target the distant threat, and a 5.5 millimeter bullet hits the shooter squarely in the chest before he can knock the first arrow. The remaining 4 charge from different angles, hoping to surround the super soldier. One of the seals pulls the pin from a fragmentation grenade and throws it at 2 gladiators approaching from the left. Sand flies into the air as the 2 gladiators vanish. The front row spectators are caught under a hail of debris. 2 surviving gladiators are stunned, their ears ringing, and one of the seals knocks one of them down with a short burst. Amidst the chaos, the other manages to approach and slice the seal on the arm, but the blade glides off the armored fabric, leaving only a barely noticeable scratch before he is also knocked down. In the last wave, 2 champions emerge, among them a provocateur in full armor, using cover and moving in zigzags, trying to be cunning. Considering the heavy armor, one of the seals fires a 40 millimeter grenade from an underbarrel grenade launcher, bringing the seals closer to victory. Meanwhile, the last champion desperately lunges at the Marines, attempting to stab his sword into an unprotected leg. One of the Marines strikes him in the face with the butt of his weapon, while his comrade strikes the gladiator from the side. One of the Marines suffers an open wound to his shin. It is painful but bearable after the first aid. The team of Marines spent 100 rounds and 2 grenades. There is still enough ammunition, but they are starting to feel fatigue. And the 30 kilograms of gear doesn't get any lighter. Commodus gives the order for a full military spectacle. 20 soldiers in formation. 2 battle chariots with archers and cavalry. The Marines retreat to cover and prepare for battle. As the gates open, the enemy advances again, but the Marine team is already in action, and 2 grenades fly into their dense ranks. 2 explosions take out several soldiers, and 12 people fall to the ground. Limbs scatter across the arena. Marines switch to automatic fire, taking down enemies with ruthless speed. Suddenly, a chariot bursts in, and an archer manages to shoot an arrow into the shoulder joint of one of the Marines, one of the few vulnerable spots in their armor. This is the first serious injury. The wounded Marine begins to shoot one-handed while his team concentrates fire on the chariot. Horses fall, dragging down the chariot with them. The second chariot meets the same fate. When the smoke clears, the Marines are the only ones standing, but they are severely injured and exhausted. By this point, each Marine has about 60 rounds left. Sensing their weakness, Emperor Commodus himself enters the arena accompanied by 10 Praetorians. The crowd holds its breath. The Marines have only 1 magazine for the rifle and a couple of magazines for the pistols. Without hesitation, they form a circle one last time, backs to each other, ready to fight to the end. Commodus mocks them in Latin, aiming to make their fall spectacular, to which the Marines respond with a barrage of automatic gunfire. 2 Praetorians take bullets meant for the Emperor. 1 bullet grazes Commodus's arm, and the crowd freezes in horror. Commodus screams at his guards, who throw heavy throwing spears. 1 hits a Marine in the thigh, knocking him down into the sand. The Marines unload their last magazines into the advancing guards before switching to pistol fire. Commodus himself goes to finish off the fallen operator, but another Marine shoots him in the chest with a 9mm pistol.